You're watching Let's Talk About Prepping. I'm Tyler, your host, and in this video, I want to once again share with you my favorite kind of Band-Aids. So I went and picked some more up today to seal up a wound before I have to go to work. So I got this burn last night, and I knew immediately that it was going to blister and peel, and it did already this morning. So I know that skin is going to be very irritated and very prone to infection until it's ready for the outside world. So enter the bandage. Now, a lot of bandages just don't cut it for a working person. In my adult life, I've pretty much become accustomed to having some kind of open wound on my hand at all times, whether that's from working outside, working in machining, or working in the kitchen. And you can't just stop working because you have an open wound, so you have to protect that and protect the things you're working on from it. Now, fabric bandages just don't do the trick, especially if there's sweat or moisture of any kind involved. And that's why I really like this bandage. This is the first and only bandage that I've ever seen that really just stays on no matter what without the help of duct tape or other things. This plastic occlusive wrap that the bandage is made out of really seals onto the skin and doesn't let go until you tear it off. And it occludes water and air, which is pretty nice because it keeps the wound completely sealed no matter what you're doing. But it's not that great because it keeps the wound completely sealed no matter what you're doing. Now, while you're working, while you're risking exposure, that's a good thing. You want that completely sealed off. But wounds need oxygen to heal, so you definitely want to make sure that it gets plenty of airing out time. But if you have to do some work, if you have to maybe be exposed to things that you don't want getting into an open wound, this can be really good. Now, I'll show you this Band-Aid. I actually went ahead and tried to do this video already and had a little bit of a mess up. So what I have on my finger here is the gel pad that goes on the wound. So like I said, you can see that the Band-Aid itself is a plastic film, and it's got a really strong adhesive. As you can tell from this ruined one, it's the kind of plastic adhesive that will crumple down on itself if it's not used properly. And this gel pad is supposedly technologically developed to help with healing. And it's a little sticky itself. Anyways, I just really like these Band-Aids because if I know that I want to keep a wound sealed, sort of give it a second skin for just a little while, these are a really good option because that adhesive plastic around the pad seals down onto your skin as long as you don't have any oils or anything on there. Now, I applied some antibiotic cream and removed it pretty well, so this should seal on properly. Now, these are a little tricky because of how adhesive they are, but once you get your trick down, you'll end up with an extremely good seal. Now, you have to be careful because these are very easy to get on too tight. If you cut off the circulation to your finger, you're going to waste the whole bandage trying to get it back off again. There. As you can see, that bandage is completely sealing that burnt, fresh skin down in there. Now, it's a little tight, but I know that through flexing, I'll be able to get it to wear out to where it's pretty comfortable. And that's going to let me expose that to chemicals or maybe contaminated water or what have you, foods, without worry about that just directly becoming infected and exposed to those chemicals and things. You still want to be careful, but these are much better than a fabric adhesive bandage, which essentially traps contaminants up against a wound. Now, again, you do want to give this plenty of time to air and heal properly when you're not worried about contamination. But these are a really good option that are my go-to whenever I've got a wound and I need to keep working. Now, I've only ever found these at Rite Aid, but I'm sure that other brands are developing something like this, so keep an eye out if you don't have Rite Aid in your area. Anyways, just something that I like to share every once in a while because bandages can save lives if they prevent infection. And that's pretty common if you're out working in dirty conditions. And well, a lot of us are going to find ourselves doing that. So, hope that was interesting. Hope you're all doing well. Everybody stay safe out there.